So we have been doing chapter number 3, verse number 19 we did in the previous class. Correct? Am I right? Today we are supposed to do verse number 20. 20 and 21 we'll try to do. Okay. Please repeat after me. Karmaneva hi samsiddhim astita janakadaya loka sangraham evapi sampashyan kartum arhasi. Karmane vahi samsiddhim astita janakadaya lok sangraham evapi sampashyan kartum arhasi. One more time. Karmane vahi samsiddhim astita janakadaya lok sangraham evapi sampashyan kartum arhasi. Word by word meaning like this. Karmana, by work. Eva, even. He, certainly. Samsiddhim, in perfection. Astitaha, situated. Janaka adayaha, Janaka and other kings. Lok sangraham, the people in general. Eva api, also. Sampashyan, considering. Kartum, to act. Arhasi, you deserve. Translation purport by His Divine Grace is Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Kings such as Janaka attained perfection solely by performance of prescribed duties. Therefore, just for the sake of educating the people in general, you should perform your work. Please repeat after me. Kings such as Janaka attained perfection solely by performance of prescribed duties. Therefore, just for the sake of educating the people in general, you should perform your work. Purport. Kings like Janaka were all self-realized souls. Consequently, they had no obligation to perform the prescribed duties in the Vedas. Nonetheless, they performed all prescribed duties just to set example for the people in general. Janaka was the father of Sita and father-in-law of Lord Sri Ram. Being a great devotee of the Lord, he was transcendently situated. But because he was the king of Mithila, a subdivision of Bihar province in India, he had to teach his subjects how to perform prescribed duties. Lord Krishna and Arjuna, the Lord's eternal friends, had no need to fight in the battle of Kurukshetra. But they ought to teach people in general that violence is also necessary in a situation where good arguments fail. Before the battle of Kurukshetra, every effort was made to avoid the war, even by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But the other party was determined to fight. So for such a right cause, there is a necessity for fighting. Although one who is situated in Krishna consciousness may not have any interest in the world, he still works to teach the public how to live and how to act. Experienced persons in Krishna consciousness can act in such a way that others will follow. And this is explained in the following verse. Okay. So we'll read the next verse also and then discuss. Yad yad, very famous verse this is. Yad yad acharati shreshtas tad evattaro janaha sayat pramanam kurute lokas tad anuvartate. Whatever action a great man performs, common men follow. And whatever standards he sets by exemplary acts, all the world pursues. Whatever, but please repeat after me. Whatever action a great man performs, common men follow. And whatever standards he sets by exemplary acts, all the world pursues. People in general always require a leader who can teach the public by practical behavior. A leader cannot teach the public to stop smoking if he himself smokes. Lord Chaitanya said that a teacher should behave properly before he begins teaching. One who teaches in that way is called Acharya, or the ideal teacher. Therefore, a teacher must follow the principles of Shastra, scriptures, to teach the common man. The teacher cannot manufacture rules against the principles of revealed scriptures. The revealed scriptures like Manu Samhita and similar others are considered the standard books to be followed by human society. Thus, the leader's teaching should be based on principles of such standard Shastras. One who desires to improve himself must follow the standard rules as they are practiced by the great teachers. The Srimad Bhagavatam also affirms that one should follow in the footsteps of great devotees. And that is a way of progress on the path of spiritual realization. The king or the executive head of the state, the father and the school teacher. We have some teachers also here. are all considered the natural leaders of the innocent people in general. All such natural leaders have a great responsibility to their dependents. Therefore, they must be conversant with standard books of moral and spiritual codes. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So both are very important verses. So Krishna is giving example of a leader like Janak Maharaj, who attained perfection by doing his prescribed duties. Sunilada Prabhu, are you there? I can't see you. नहीं है, कहाँ है? Okay. So we learned when we were studying cycle of sacrifice, Yagya Chakra, one who does not participate in this cycle of sacrifice or does not perform sacrifices, Moga Partha Sajivati, his life is in a vain, like he's living a useless life. Life has no purpose. And his life is full of sins. He's simply accumulating sins. So performing prescribed duties is important. Very important. And then Krishna said, but one who is a realized soul in the verse number 17, but for one who takes pleasure in the self, it means one who is on the platform of soul, not body. Atmaram, if you remember, whose life is one of self-realization, whose goal of life is purely self-realization and not sense gratification, who is satisfied in the self only, who is always satisfied in any material circumstance. For him, there is no duty. He is not obliged to perform the prescribed duties. So, who is supposed to be advised by Krishna to perform prescribed duties? Who is living a material life, who has a lot of material desires, whose goal of life is to fulfill those desires. He must perform these prescribed duties. Now, what are these prescribed duties? Prescribed duties are basically duties based on one's psychophysical nature. Based on, Krishna says, Bhagavad Gita, Chaturvarnam maya srishtam guna karma vibhagasha. Srishtam, I have made this. Maya srishtam, I have made this varnashram system, in which you have 4 varnas, 4 ashramas, and everybody has different prescribed duty based on different situations. These prescribed duties are primarily to subdue our mind and senses. These are impositions on mind and senses, to control mind and senses, which are always hunting for material sense objects. Okay. So prescribed duty is very, very important. Otherwise, uncontrolled sense is our biggest enemy. Uncontrolled mind is our biggest enemy. So prescribed duties gradually purify one of material existence. Why? They teach one to remain under control, to lead a controlled life. The difference between animal and Human being is that only. That for human society, there are certain rules, regulations, some conduct, some moral conduct. For animals, there is no, isn't it? For example, human beings are supposed to unite inside a room, but animals do not have such moral conducts. You'll see animals having sex on the road openly, correct? Can human beings have? No. If they have, and these days they do have, isn't it? So they are nothing less than animals. So human beings, there are certain moral codes we are supposed to be following to remain on the platform of human beings. Otherwise, they degrade themselves to animal propensities of sense gratification. Okay. So prescribed duties are laid down in Shastras, in scriptures, for one to gradually get purified of material desires by controlling senses and controlling mind. Okay. When senses and mind are controlled by following prescribed duties, one can parallelly start a spiritual life. Otherwise, not possible. Understood? Why the prescribed is important? Okay. Now, prescribed duties are of two types. Okay. Prescribed duties are of two types. Number one, based on body, which is called Varnashram system. So Varnashram system is actually material, not spiritual. Okay. Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Brahmachari, Grahastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyasi. These are bodily identifications. Correct? Based on one's gunas and karma. Based on modes of nature, whether he is dominated by Sattva-guna or he is dominated by Rajoguna or is dominated by Tamoguna, one is regarded as Brahmana or Kshatriya or Vaishya Shudra. Correct? So there is one type of duty or prescribed duty, and it is also called as naimetic dharma, based on one's bodily identification, which is what Krishna is referring here to be performed. And there is another duty which is based on one's eternal identity of soul. This is called Nitya Dharma, eternal duty. Which is more important? For us, both are important. But for a soul which is self-realized, he is not obliged to perform duties based on bodily identification, because he has transcended his consciousness from material consciousness to pure spiritual consciousness. So till the time we are on a platform of body, we must perform prescribed duties. Correct? But if one says, what if I perform all my prescribed duties based on body perfectly? I am a perfect husband. I am a perfect Brahmana. I am a perfect Vaishya. I am a perfect Kshatriya. I am a perfect wife. Is that sufficient? Krishna says no. That is not sufficient. That is only a means to perform our eternal dharma perfectly. that itself is not sufficient. In Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, second chapter, 8 number verse, Krishna says, what does he say? Dharma sanustitaha pumsham vishwakshena kathashuya na utpadayed yadiratim shramevahi kevalam. The occupational activities a man performs according to his own position, which means prescribed duties, are only so much useless labor if they do not provoke attraction for the message of personality of Lord. So it means if through performing prescribed duties, being a good husband, being a good Brahmana, Kshatriya, if you are not able to develop attachment to Krishna or his messages like Bhagavad Gita or his pastimes like Srimad Bhagavatam, then all those occupational duties one performs are useless labor. Shramevahi kevalam. So the purpose of life is not to become a good husband. Purpose of life is not to become a good family man. Purpose of life is not to become a good wife. Purpose of life is by becoming good husband, we become good devotee. By becoming good wife, we become good devotee. Okay? Just being a good family member or Kshatriya husband, wife is useless if one does not transcend to the platform of a good devotee. Okay, which is the ultimate goal of life. Does that make sense? Does it make sense? So, if one, because Krishna said in the verse number 17, if one is already self-realized, he is on the spiritual platform, he need not perform prescribed duties based on body. He is not obliged. Okay? Why? Because one who is serving Krishna, honestly, religiously, 24 hours, then even if he does not perform his prescribed duties, it is okay. He is not obliged to perform those prescribed duties because he has transcended material platform. But here, Krishna is giving example and stressing on a point that even if you become a pure devotee and you're not obliged to perform prescribed duties, still you must perform prescribed duties. Why? To set a good example for the rest of society. Because most people in the society are ignorant of spiritual fundamentals, correct? Most people are ignorant. They're not aware of what is spiritual life, what is the goal of life, who are we, who is Supreme Lord, what is Prakriti, what is Karma, what is Kala. They don't understand. They will simply say, he became devotee and he renounced everything. है ना? See, भक्त बनने के बाद अपनी जिम्मेवारी करना भूल गया. They will only see this. They will see one is not fulfilling his family duties because he has become a duty. So they will run away from becoming a devotee. If I chant the holy name, I'll be asked to leave my family. They understand like this. If I chant, if I serve Krishna, they will ask me not to serve family. समझ रहे हैं ना? Because they do not understand what is spiritual life, what is life, what is his responsibility as a householder, what is his responsibility as a soul. So Krishna is stressing upon this point that even by performing prescribed duties, one can perfect his life. So even if you are self-realized, one should continue to perform his prescribed duties to set good example for rest of society. For example, Janak Maharaj, he was father of Mother Sita. He was father-in-law of Lord Sri Ram. Right? So he cannot be ordinary person. Krishna will not make ordinary people as his parents. Correct? Or Lord Ram for that matter. So Janak Maharaj is already a self-realized soul. But he is still performing his prescribed. He had 2 daughters. He made both the daughters, married to wonderful, son-in-laws, Lord Ram and Lakshman. What are the names of Janak Maharaj's 2 daughters? Who will tell? Who are the 2 daughters of Lord Ram? Only one hand being raised. किसी को पता नहीं है जनक महाराज की 2 पुत्रियों के नाम क्या हैं? Okay, one more hand was raised. Don't know. So Janak Maharaj conducted a Swayamvar. He had this, very old bow of, Lord Shiva. रामायण देखा है कि नहीं आपने? So who was supposed to be getting married in that Swayamvar? Who married to Lord Ram? एक बार नहीं, अभी रुकिए, मत बताइए, रुकिए, hold on. Let me give an analogy of the current state of affairs. एक बार एक school inspector, he went to a school to inspect some CBSE or international board, IGCSE board. He went to the school and he was inspecting, and he asked all the students, who broke the bow of Lord Shiva? So all are looking at each other. What is he asking? Who broke the bow of Lord Shiva? And inspector looking at all the students. And one student got up, shivering. He said, Sir, I did not break the bow of Lord Shiva. What did he say? I did not break. Then inspector looked at another child, another student, and he got up and said, No, sir, I also did not break. He must have broken. So they started blaming each other that who has broken the bow of Lord Shiva. Then he looked at the principal. Principal said, Sir, I also did not break. What did he say? I also did not break the bow of Lord Shiva. Whatever is the, जो भी नुकसान है उसकी भरपाई हम कर देंगे. So this is the state of affairs of current India, modern India. They don't know who is Lord Ram, who is Lord Krishna, who is Lord Ram's wife, who is, Lakshman's wife. So we should be more absorbed spiritually rather than absorbed materially. No? So Janak Maharaj, also Janak is a title. Janak is not the name of the king, a father of Mother Sita. Janak is a title. So all the kings of Mithila were called as Janak. And Janak Maharaj had 2 daughters, Sita and Urmila. So बोलिए एक बार, Sita and Urmila. Sita got married to Lord Ram. ऐसे सिखाना जो बच्चों को सिखाते हैं ना. Sita got married to Lord Ram. बोलिए सब. And Urmila got married to Lakshman. And अच्छा मेरे को ब्लेम कर रहे हैं. अच्छा ठीक है. आई एम सॉरी फॉर नॉट बीइंग क्लियर. So Janak, who had Sita and Urmila as daughters, his name was Kshiradhwaja. His actual name was Kshiradhwaja. Janak is the title, king of Mithila. And the name of the king who had two daughters as Sita and Urmila is called Kshiradhwaja. And he had one younger brother. Janak had one younger brother who also had two daughters who got married to Shatrughan and who is the fourth brother? Bharat. Bharat and Shatrughan. Okay. So Bharat and Shatrughan got married to cousin sisters of Mother Sita. Okay. And the name of that brother of Janak Maharaj or Kshiradhwaja was Kushadhwaja. Kushadhwaja. And the names of those two daughters were, किसको पता है? राधिका माता जी आप बताइए. हाँ बताइए. Mataji has written thesis on Ramayana. She will know. Sorry, let me unmute. Unmute कीजिए. Unmute नहीं हो रहा है. अच्छा मैं बता देता हूँ. Anyone else knows? मीरा माता जी अभी बता रहा हूँ. सही क्वेश्चन है. जनक महाराज के छोटे भाई की पुत्रियों का नाम बताओ क्या है? मांडवी एंड श्रुति कीर्ति. ठीक है. मांडवी got married to Bharat and Shruti Kirti got married to Shatrughan. ठीक है. So four brothers. Lord Ram got married to Mother Sita. Lakshman got married to Urmila. Bharat got married to the cousin sisters Mandvi, and Shatrughan got married to Shruti Kirti. So here Janak Maharaj conducted Swayamvar ceremony for the marriage of his daughters. So he was doing all his prescribed as a father, as a king. Correct? क्या हो गया राधिका माता? नाउ आई कैन हियर यू. राधिका माँ भी आवाज सुनाई दे रही है
जी. वो हम फोन की तरह उसी को टिक करते जा रहे थे, इसलिए लैपटॉप में तो इससे होगा. इसलिए
सुनील प्रभु कहाँ गायब हो गया आज?
आज कुछ ट्रैकिंग के लिए गए.
अच्छा ओके ठीक है. तो व्हाट इज कृष्णा ट्राइंग टू से हियर? That even if one is a realized soul, he becomes devotee, he must perform his prescribed duties of as a father, as a husband, as a family man, to set good examples for the society to follow. Okay, making sense? So Krishna is not advising you want to become a devotee, renounce your family. Run away from your family. Don't do your duties. No. A good devotee is also a good father. A good devotee is also a good mother. Okay? A good devotee is also a good businessman, a good engineer. Why they are good? Because they do their duties very diligently. They don't cut corners. They will do their jobs perfectly and set good example. See, he is doing his, both spiritual and material duties perfectly. Then people will be attracted to become devotees. Correct? If they see devotees, they are only chanting all day and not, taking care of their children, not taking care of their business, then Krishna will say, no, not setting example. And some people will not be attracted to become devotees. Isn't it? So to set good examples, a good devotee also should try to fulfill his prescribed duties nicely. That is the message from Krishna in this verse. And the Krishna is saying in the next verse, Yad acharati shreshtas tadad eva tarojana. Yani ke whatever action a great man or a leader performs, the followers perform the same thing. Correct? Like father, like son. If father does something, son also tries to do like this. Same thing. If in your organization, there's a new leader, Akant Prabhu, for example, your CEO changes, and he comes with different priorities altogether. Everybody will make the same priorities. Yes or no? If Narendra Modi speaks good about Srila Prabhupada, like the way he spoke a few days back by releasing a coin, Guru Maharaj said, when Narendra Modi was speaking about Prabhupada, it looked like Srimad Bhagavatam class. As if he was taking a Bhagavatam class. So if Narendra Modi is talking so good about Prabhupada, a lot of people will develop attraction to Prabhupada. Yes or no? Because Narendra Modi, Prime Minister of the country, is talking so good about it. Isn't it? Teacher, for example, Prabhupada, in the purport he has written, few people like father, mother, teacher, king, or let's say political leader, prime minister, they are natural leaders. Isn't it? A lot of dependents simply follow their actions. So it is a great responsibility for such leaders to be good leaders. So they set good examples for their independents or their followers to follow. The first leader for a child is mother. Yes or no? Whom child follows. Then teachers. But the current day teachers are not teachers. They are cheaters. Sorry, Mamta Mataji, not for you. So then Prabhupada says, if they don't know the right conducts in their life, what will they teach to their children or to their students? So all such leaders must read Gita Bhagavatam and understand what are the prescribed duties, material and spiritual, and teach those duties to their dependents. Even being a devotee is a natural leader. You set good examples through your own behavior in society. Correct? How do we behave in society, in public places, station, bus stand, in the shop, in the market, is very important. Because we carry Japamala, we carry Tilakam on our foreheads. We are natural spiritual leaders. And if you behave irresponsibly, people will not be attracted. People will be distracted from devotional life. So Krishna is saying all such natural leaders or great leaders in a society, whatever actions they do, people simply follow, their followers simply follow them. That's why Prabhupada used to say we should preach to all these leaders who have a lot of following, who have a lot of followers, bureaucrats, teachers, doctors, parents. We should teach them Krishna consciousness. So simply by they becoming Krishna conscious, many people become Krishna conscious. Because they have a lot of following. So the message is, one, devotee does not mean we do not do our material duties. Okay, we must perform our material duties also perfectly, so as to set good example. Second, we should, because we are natural leaders in many ways, as father, as mother, as teacher, as responsible manager, general manager in a company, vice president, CEO, owner of a business. We're also leaders, and we have a lot of people look up to us as a role model, isn't it? So we should set the right example for all of them to follow. That is one, for all of us. And second, we should preach to such leaders who have a lot of followers. Try to make them Krishna conscious. By preaching one person, you'll be preaching many of them who follow him. Isn't it? Yat yat acharati shreshtas. Shreshtas matlab people who hold responsible positions in the society. If whatever they do, whatever behavior they display, tad eva taro janaha, normal people will follow that behavior. Sayat pramanam kurute lokas tad anuvartate. Whatever examples they set, people will follow. If Narendra Modi starts chanting the holy name, many people will follow him. But the problem in the current context is we have a lot of leaders whom people follow, children follow. And who are these leaders? Movie stars. Shah Rukh Khan. Whatever hairstyle he will keep, people will keep the same hairstyle. Some actors started keeping, daadi rakhna shuru kiya. A lot of, students, college going students, they started keeping, beard and mustache just to follow. The role models are fashion models, isn't it? Movie stars, sportsmen. They are, current modern day natural leaders whom our children follow. Why? Because we do not expose them to the real leaders. Lord Ram, Yudhishthira Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruv Maharaj, they are our leaders to follow. So we should expose our children to such leaders and their deeds so that they get attracted to them. Today, all children sit in front of television, even elder people, and they get attracted to what they see. Entire advertisement industry is based on this principle, yad yad acharat sheshtas. If Shah Rukh Khan is smoking cigarette, people will start smoking. If Shah Rukh Khan is driving Honda City, people will start driving Honda City. I also know, I only remember Shah Rukh Khan. I don't know who are the current actors. So you will know in case you watch cinema still. Yeah. So whoever are, rock stars in the, Bollywood, Hollywood, currently they are setting trends for people to follow. Unfortunately. Isn't it? So we should expose ourselves and our children to the right set of leaders. So that we get attracted to the right things, we get attracted to right actions, not, bad actions. So many lessons from these two verses in terms of, performing our prescribed duties diligently. Both are spiritual, which is chanting the holy name, reading, hearing, eating prasadam, associating with devotees, getting up early in the morning. These are all spiritual prescribed duties. We must perform them every day. If you don't perform them, your material prescribed duties are useless. However perfect we may be, itne अच्छे से कर ले हम लोग, we will not become good, parents or good teachers or good citizens. So eternal prescribed duty or nitya dharma of chanting, hearing, reading, are must. And at the same time, to set good examples, we also must perform our material duties nicely. And we should not become irresponsible to our material prescribed duties. Once Mataji wrote to Prabhupada, Prabhupada, I have a very small daughter. I am not able to serve my deities properly. Prabhupada said, don't worry, you first serve your daughter. She is also a deity for you. You serve this deity first. Okay, so we cannot neglect our children and perform deity service. Krishna will not like it. Okay, making sense? So material prescribed duties are also purifying us. So as an they don't have any spiritual value. No, they also have spiritual value because they are gradually purifying us of our material desires. Okay, clear? So we'll stop here and open for questions. Yes, if you raise your hand, I'll unmute because remote is my hand today. Please raise your hand and I'll unmute you if you have any question. Yes. No one has any question. Yes, Shivani Mataji. Unmute yourself.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
प्रणाम माताजी।
प्रभु जी, मैं